I was a really active person. I was a runner, a competitive water skier, and competed in various equestrian events. As a result of the accident, I'm no longer able to run or do competitive water skiing. I have recently returned to riding. I'm hoping that at some point my recovery will continue to the point where I'll be able to maybe water ski at kind of a recreational level. I had been on a trip with my sisters, two of my sisters. We were kind of doing a little girls, get together, and we were in Northern California on heading to the Redwoods. So we were on a little 2-lane highway, and I was driving. One of my sisters was beside me, and then I had another one sitting in the back seat behind my other sister. And kind of out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flash of a car. I didn't actually recall the accident. I've been told kind of what had occurred. I do have that memory of seeing something coming at me. But essentially what happened is there was a young gal that was heading northbound on the road, and we were southbound. And witnesses say she was texting. So she actually, at full speed, hit a stopped vehicle that was waiting to turn and shot that. It was a big truck, and shot that truck right into our path. And so we hit head on. So at the time of the accident, I was a contract employee for the U.S. Marshals. And again, as a result of the accident, being that I was a contract employee, I was no longer able to fulfill the requirements of my job based on the extent of the injuries. So as a result of that, I'm no longer working. I knew at that point when the accident occurred, and I was conscious enough to know, okay, I'd been in a really bad accident. I remember kind of looking, around to see how my sisters were doing. I knew I was not doing well. Like I could feel like I was going to lose consciousness. I had a lot of pain throughout my body. I knew I was hurt really bad, and I actually wasn't sure if I would even survive the accident initially. I remember having very clear thoughts that I think I'm going to die here. At some point, I remember commotion around me, and then I kind of lost consciousness. I had sustained a brain bleed, so that's what caused me to go unconscious. And then I didn't actually kind of come back to until I was actually in the ER. I had a broken knee, a lot of torn ligaments and cartilage everywhere. I had internal bleeding in my abdomen, popped out my hip. I had torn a bicep. I was really concerned about the long-term medical implications and what I perceived from the little bit of information I had gotten early on in reference to the at-fault driver and their insurance limits, which, because myself and both of my sisters we were all very severely injured, it didn't take any of us very long to figure out that the money was going to be pretty limited as far as just, can we even get our medical bills paid for? That was, for us, that was the motivator. We just wanted to not be burdened with debt the rest of our lives, paying enormous medical bills that didn't seem like there would be enough insurance to cover. The law offices of Brent Duque, first of all, I can't say enough about them, about the experience that I've had. Good, wonderful, positive experience. I've talked to a lot of people who have been through similar stuff and had hired other attorneys, and I've yet to talk to a single person who had the experience that I've had. Anytime I had any questions about anything, somebody was always immediately available to either call me right back or take my call when I called, and each step of the way, everything was explained to me, always. I always understood what was happening, what the process was, and it was, that's just, for me personally, it just gave me such confidence, knowing these people care about me, they care about my sisters, they care about the outcome, and I felt that from day one. And just to mitigate just exactly my biggest fears, I'm not at the end of this facing enormous medical bills that I'll never get out from underneath, which in the loss of my job even became even scarier. So that was just huge. It's just been such a relief that I'm not carrying that stress around, because just the stress of the accident and everything I've had, it's changed my life. It's changed it forever, and I have to negotiate that. But not having that piece, the monetary piece of that burden, is just has been the best piece of it for me.